Hey guys, welcome to the first episode of the Tommy Talk Show. I'm here with my best friend Jared. What's up, Jared?
What's going on, Tomcat?
How you doing, man?
Doing well.
So this first episode, I'm very excited to be here.
Likewise.
Very excited that you said you'd be the first person to be on my show. It's an honor to have you here. We go way back, and I guess the purpose of this show is to really talk to you and learn more about you as a person, and also to share, maybe a story of yours that you might want to talk about, maybe about your childhood or something that you have battled with mental illness or mental health. So that's the goal, is to normalize conversations like this and to not to really get into your business, so feel free to not go into too much detail, share whatever you want. Don't feel obligated or pressured. At any point you can say that you're not comfortable talking or answering the question, and that's cool, so just let me know.
Of course.
Awesome. So I guess we'll get started by letting the audience know who you are. So who is Jared Carter?
I would say that I'm a father. I have 3 beautiful kids.
Nice.
I'm engaged to a pretty awesome person.
Nice.
I work with a stone fabricator. I do a lot of stuff with them, so it keeps me busy.
Nice.
And I don't know.
All right. So you have 3 kids. What are their names? Either boys, girls? I know. The audience might not know.
I have 3 boys, thankfully.
Okay, cool.
I have a 3-year-old named Liam who is a pain in my butt.
Nice.
I have a 5-year-old named Oliver he loves building stuff, and it's great to see the things he comes up with, every day. And then my 8-year-old Ethan, he's a diabetic. He does really well. He does really well in school.
Okay.
My kids are great. My fiance's name's Destiny.
Hi,
She's
Destiny.
Great. Right.
Nice. And what does she do?
She works at Dunkin' Donuts right now.
Hell yeah.
So we got free coffee.
And donuts.
And donuts. Eesh, don't tell nobody.
Well, you brought Starbucks this morning. So.
Well, to be honest, you asked me to bring Starbucks this morning. But she don't know that well. Now she does.
Now she knows. That's awesome. Awesome. So cool. You said you work at a stone fabricator company. What do you want to share the information? Well, what's the name of it? What do you do?
The name of my company, well, not my company. The name of the company I work for is called MG Granite. We're right off of 47th and Tallman.
Nice.
We pretty much do anything you really need done with stone, whether it be countertops, vanities. We do fireplaces. We do custom sinks as well. So really anything you can think of, we do.
Nice. I saw you guys are giving away a pet bowl holder.
Yeah, we're giving away a pet feeder. We have ones for cats as well. I know some people were
like a shorter one.
Yeah, we have a shorter one. Some people were worried that their cats,
nice,
their smaller pets couldn't reach, but we do have a smaller one as well.
Well, I think I want one for like my pet lizard or something. Since people are going to do that.
We can make it happen. We can definitely make that happen.
That's awesome. So what do you do there? Do you fabricate it yourself, or what is fabricating?
Fabricating would be us putting stones on our big Lynx bridge saws, and we cut them down to smaller sizes, and then our fabricating team takes them to a different spot of our facility, and they put them on big tables, and they polish the edges, they cut out the sink holes, and make sure everything is nice and smooth. That way no one hurts themselves.
That's pretty cool.
And what I do is I do all of our marketing and social media. So I handle all of our Facebook, our Instagram, our TikTok, things like that. And I also do sales as well. I post a lot of ads on Facebook and Instagram and things like that, and I respond to people directly. And that's really what I do.
And how do you like that?
I love it, honestly. When I go, it doesn't feel like work. It's definitely took me some time to get really used to. It's not something I've did before. I used to work at Heine's, as you know. I used to work at Heine's, and coming from that to doing this,
Yeah.
very, very different.
It's a food industry and the stone industry.
Right, you know, but it's taken some time to get used to, but I'm very good at what I do, no matter what it is. You know, it's just me being honest. I try to do everything to the best of my ability.
Agreed.
That way, you know, I'm a very big believer in my work speaks for itself, and everything that I've been doing here, and you know, it's really been doing very well.
That's
I'm
awesome.
doing very well.
That's awesome. That's good to hear. Definitely glad that you're doing well and that you found something that you like to do. You don't want to have to go to work and be like, man, I don't want to go to this place, or it should be somewhere you want to go and something that you like to do. It doesn't really seem like work, you know, but that's awesome. Glad you're doing well. You are doing some awesome stuff. Your social media stuff has been killing it. A lot of videos. You guys should check them out. What's your Instagram and stuff like that?
Our Instagram is Earth Meets Luxury. You can find us at Earth Meets Luxury pretty much everywhere. The only where we're not is Twitter, where it's Earth Meet Luxury. For some reason they didn't let me put the S. It was too long. Apparently.
Oh, Earth Meet Luxury.
Yes, so
that's the Bicep version.
exactly. Yeah, you can find us. You can find all of us, all of my company stuff there, and then you can find me on Instagram at themanager1.
Nice.
_1.
Nice.
And
okay. Yeah, so I'll put everything in the description and stuff like that, so people can find you. So that's awesome. I guess another way to get to know you, I'm just gonna ask you a few questions if you don't mind.
Of course.
What's one of your biggest achievements?
Probably sounds corny, but it would honestly have to be just my kids.
Okay.
You know, especially with, you know, me not having a dad when I was younger, you know, being able to do all the things with my kids now that I never got a chance to, you know, honestly, it's amazing. It's amazing to, you know, to know that, you know, you're there and, you know, your kids won't have that same feeling. And that honestly I would say was my biggest achievement, is the fact that I'm able to be there, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so have you always wanted children, like when you were younger, or you kind of just feel like you were kind of just like meant to be a dad kind of thing, or?
Honestly, no, not at all. It was, you know, my first one, you know, wasn't planned. But you know, it happened, and you know, was very fortunate. You know, it helped me grow up, I guess you would say. You know, and do more. I'm just thankful that it happened when I was out of high school.
Yeah.
You know, not that there's anything wrong with that, but I didn't have the pressure of going to school on top of trying to have to worry about, you know, providing for, you know, my upcoming responsibilities.
Yeah. So, I mean, you kind of just like dove into work, didn't you, at that point?
Yeah. So at that point, you know, I was like, honestly, it's kind of what like everybody does and everybody thinks, you know, when you have kids at a young age, is, man, like I got to start working. I have to start, you know, saving money. You know, I be able to provide for, you know, my unborn child and my family. Really
stressful.
Very, very, very stressful. But at the end of the day, you know, parenting isn't for everybody. You know, it's hard. You know, I'm a firm believer in some people just shouldn't have kids.
Yeah. That's a whole nother episode.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. But you know, it's like unfortunately, I didn't go to college. You know, I worked at McDonald's. I worked at Heine's. I worked at Heine's for years.
Yeah, almost a decade.
Yeah, it was really almost a decade. You know, I'm just. It's rough. You know what I mean? Like, it's rough, but at the end of the day, being a parent, that feeling is, you know, nothing beats it. I personally feel like, you know, it's nice.
Yeah, that's awesome, and you know, I think you're doing a great job. Obviously, like. You've always provided for your family. You know, I've definitely seen it. People around you have seen it. You know, so it's great job. Thank you. You're doing a great job, and your kids are beautiful. All three of them, the boys. Jared and I have been friends for almost 12 years now.
Yeah,
I think.
Damn.
Almost 12 years now. Yeah, and our kids were actually born 2 days apart.
Our first
kids were born 2 days apart.
Yeah.
and they were both born 2 days earlier than their due date.
Yes, they were.
So
coincidence.
I think they were born on each other's due dates.
Yeah, I think so. Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. So it's just funny that how the universe works. It's crazy. So you talked a little bit about growing up without a father. Do you want to talk about that a little bit, or?
That's fine with me.
So I mean, what was growing up without a father like? I kind of grew up without a father, but I didn't. So you want to?
I really it's hard. I'm sure as most people would know, who didn't have fathers. It's hard. It's rough. My mother had to work all the time. She wasn't really home, so. I had my 2 older brothers. My oldest brother, I could remember.
What are their names?
My older brother's name is Jamie, and my middle brother's name is Ron. So Ron. So from when I could remember, my oldest brother was old enough to watch us.
Yeah.
So my mom worked. She worked a lot, and then. She had a long-term boyfriend at that time as I can remember. His name was Sabian.
Okay.
He was really our father figure, but when their relationship had ended, it was back to really not having a dad. Even though when he was there, he did a great job. He always cared for us and he did things with us and things like that. I seen my actual father very rehably. The few memories I have of him, we would visit him in rehab centers and things like that.
Okay.
We didn't really know what it was at the time.
How old were you when this going to see them in the rehab center?
Man, we've seen him at a few different ones. There was one was like a church sort of something like that. The other one was like a farm, and then the other one was. I don't know.
Yeah, it sounds like some church stuff for sure.
Yeah, so I want to say about between 4 and 8 maybe.
So you remember actually going and
yeah, I remember, but besides that, we really didn't really see him much.
Mm-hmm. Were you happy when you got to see him, or what? What?
Yeah, of course. He's my father. Whenever we didn't really understand why he wasn't really there. We were kids, and whenever we seen him, we were happy to see him because when we never really did. And my mom, how she was, she never bashed my dad. Never.
Yeah.
She's never said anything bad about him. She's never bad-mouthed him to us. She's
try to manipulate you to turn you against
never.
him and stuff like that.
She would always if we, no matter what their relationship was. And no matter if, once again, I don't know what that would be like, but I know how my dad is. So I'm sure it was very, very hard for my mom to deal with him. But even with that being said, if they were fighting, if they were arguing, whatever it may be, if we wanted to go and see him, she would drop us off. He didn't have a car.
Yeah.
He didn't have his things together. If we wanted to see him, she would drop us off to wherever, he was living at his sister's houses and things like that when we would see him. And yeah, she would never make us feel a certain way about him.
And that's good. Because there's so many. It's on both sides, right? You have fathers who bash the mom, they're not together anymore, and personally, I've been through that where, my mom used to try to badmouth my dad, and it's sticky, it's especially as a child, and I was I'm writing about this in my book, right? And it's just children shouldn't have to feel pressured to to be mom or dad or anybody,
Right.
It's as children, we, you said, you were just happy to see your dad. It didn't matter where he was, you were just happy to see him.
Right.
And
I'm sure if my mom went a different route and was no, he's a piece of shit. No, I'm sure I would have easily been no, I don't want to see him.
Exactly. And you wouldn't have, but yeah.
But once again, thankfully she didn't. So I was able to have, when I did see him, I'd say maybe once a year, if that.
Yeah. I'm sure he was happy too, over the moon happy to see you guys.
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's a whole nother conversation.
Right.
Okay. Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the next question would be, a lot of this, obviously things didn't sound like they were easy. So what did mental health look like in your home as a child? Did you guys talk about mental health? Did you know kind of what mental health was, or what do you think?
Mental health wasn't, as I can remember, was never like a topic. It wasn't like a thing. When I was a kid, growing up, I didn't really, I never thought about that. Like, I never thought about that. Like, when we were raised, we were outside, we were playing, we were doing things like that. We weren't on the tablets, we weren't doing those things. I felt like a kid. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
So I don't, like, I've never been like, man, like,
I feel depressed or something.
Right, like
for sure.
I've never, so,
we didn't think about that stuff.
Exactly, I've never felt that way. I've never. It was never a thing. Like, if I got in trouble, I got in trouble. My mom, even though she was working and things like that, like, I didn't have like a horrible childhood. We had things that we needed. We had everything we needed. So there was never. Like, it was never like I felt like a struggle for us, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
that's awesome.
My mom was thankfully, working multiple jobs. She was able to provide for us, so she made sure, as a parent, as her duty was to make sure we felt like things like that wasn't our responsibility. Like, we didn't have to worry about it, and we never did. I commend her very, very, like, she did it. Like,
your mom's awesome. Yeah, she's awesome. That's awesome that she was able to do that. And because you had what? How many brothers you had?
I have three brothers. She
killed it.
She really did. She really did. Even though there were little bumps in the road. Meeting us. She still.
You were the bumps.
Yeah. We. Mostly me. A little bit of Ron.
Yeah,
Ron. Yeah, a little bit of him. But I'd say I probably gave my mom the most amount of trouble. I get kind of bad in school. Like,
kind of.
Up to high school. Once I got to high school, like.
Wait, so high school was good? You were good in high school?
Come on. Freshman year was a little rough for me, but after that, summer school, I was like, I'm not doing.
I think
this.
freshman years are like a little rough for everybody.
Yeah,
for the most part. I mean, I don't know. I didn't really give a shit about school until like almost junior year. That's when I started taking shit seriously.
Right.
And it's unfortunate. I wish that I was like I had that like academic like beat into me. You know what I mean? But I couldn't. It's just not what I wanted, and I had like a wandering mind all the time. So it was just rough. But that's awesome.
Yeah, you were in them IB classes too, and that they were putting you guys in it.
Yeah. Well, you were in it too for the first couple of years, and or you were in it just for the first year.
I was in just for freshman year, and I think that's why I did so bad. Is they were stressing so much about grades, and I was just like, I just want to chill. You know what I mean?
I just want to ditch to lunch like 3 periods. Remember?
Right, exactly.
Go to multiple period lunches.
Yeah.
That was the best. And then you eat every time.
Right. What do you?
Not just you, but me too.
What do you mean you ran out of chicken sandwiches?
Yeah. Right. Oh, that was the worst.
It's funny.
So that's awesome. I'm glad that you had a good childhood. I'm glad that your mom was able to provide, and that sounds awesome. Because you definitely got to see, like your dad struggling a little bit, but then you saw your mom like busting ass. And,
right.
I think it's awesome that she didn't badmouth him or anything like that. Like, that's fantastic. I love that.
And I think with like how you said when I seen my dad, I would see the struggle. Like, I would see all that, and then when I would go home, I would see my mom, busting her ass and things like that. I think that's also what allowed me to, at least now as an adult, like, starting to work and things like that. Like, I seen how my dad struggled and things. As a kid, you didn't really understand it.
Yeah.
But thinking back, I'm like, man, like, this man can't keep a job.
Yeah.
This man can't really do anything. Like.
And you remember thinking this stuff as like
No, not thinking. Like, I would observe it. You know, as a kid,
Yeah.
you observe everything.
For sure.
You know, and you might not be able to, you know, really form the words like what's going on.
Yeah.
But you still have that memory, and that's exactly like what I would think back to is like, man, you know, being an adult, like thinking back to those memories. You know, I can say like, man, like, he was struggling.
Yeah.
You know, he couldn't keep a job. He couldn't do a lot of things that, you know, my mom could do because he just wasn't in it. You know,
Yeah.
he was battling his own demons, I guess you could say. But, you know, like, you have kids.
Yeah.
You know, but I think once again going back to my personal work ethic is, you know, seeing that struggle and seeing my mom and how she was busting ass, like. I made that choice of myself to, you know, to work hard.
Yeah.
And to be able to provide for my kids and my family the way my mom did for me.
Yeah.
Because I would hate for my kids to see me like that.
Yeah.
And to see me like how I seen my dad, and, you know, even as I said, I didn't know, you know, you still keep those memories. So when you think back, you know, I don't want my kids to be able to, you know, to think when they get older, like, man, like, dad was struggling, like,
Yeah.
he wasn't doing what he had to do. You know, I will always make sure that I do what I have to do
Yeah.
to make sure, you know, my kids are provided for and things like that. And that's really thanks to my mom and seeing how hard she worked.
Yeah.
You know, and then seeing that opposite side,
Yeah.
you know, at that point, you know, you kind of just make a mental decision.
Yeah.
Like, this is what I'm going to do. And that's exactly what I did. And I think I've been blessed
Yeah.
so far, you know.
Agreed. That's awesome. And your kids will definitely see that, you know, down the line. Like, man, Dad, we had everything we needed. Especially, like, Destiny works, too. You know what I mean? You guys kill it. You know, you guys both work. Destiny comes from, like, what? She's worked multiple jobs at one point, you know?
Yeah,
like,
she's a very hard worker.
Yeah, you guys work very hard, and your kids are definitely going to see that. And they're gonna reap the rewards from all that. That's awesome. That you're a very good example. You're a very good father, very good fiance. That's awesome, man. I'm proud of you. That's awesome. So we talked about mental health. Let's kind of switch gears a little bit. Just talk a little bit more about you. I kind of just ask you some random questions.
Okay.
What's your favorite movie?
Man. I'm torn, man. You got me. There's so many good ones. I would have to say, if with replayability, I would have to say it would have to be Night at the Roxbury.
Nice.
Roxbury.
Yeah.
With Will Ferrell, one of his earlier films.
Yeah, it's a classic.
Killed it.
I feel like you can never, like, watch that movie too many times.
Right, you know.
Because it's like, it's not long, you know what I mean? So it's not like Godfather and shit. Like, I'm not.
Oh
watching,
yeah,
you know
it's very fun throughout. You know, every scene is have you dying.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a good one. You know, it's one of Will Ferrell's earlier masterpieces. You know?
Is he your favorite? Who's your favorite comedian?
My favorite comedian.
I want to say Adam Sandler, but he just annoys me sometimes. You know?
I like comedian as far as movies or like stand-up comedian.
Oh, I guess we're talking about movies, so movies.
Yeah. Man, yeah, probably Will Ferrell. Anything he's in is just a hit. Like,
I didn't like Semi-Pro.
It was good.
Anchorman.
Anchorman is a very specific, like, Will Ferrell.
Or Talladega Nights.
Okay, you're pushing the bar. You're pushing the bar.
Yeah, I don't know. I love Will Ferrell, but like those movies, I just can't. Like, I love Jim Carrey.
Get Hard.
I love him. Get Hard was one of the best movies ever. I every time I fucking watch that movie. Well, Kevin Hart is just like a classic, and the two of them together, and Kevin Hart and The Rock together, are just fucking.
Yeah, from that, knocking out the park.
Have you seen Jumanji? The one
the
with
remake?
the new one?
Yeah, I think I've seen the first one. Yeah.
The new one with The Rock and Kevin Hart. They made a Jumanji.
Yeah, I think they've had two now.
They have two now?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I didn't watch the first one, but I was just curious how it was.
Yeah, the first one was decent.
Yeah,
it was good.
Is that still the same? Like, but they're in an actual jungle and shit. Right?
No, it's like a VR type shit.
Oh, yeah, that's not that cool. Awesome. What kind of music do you like? What do you?
My music taste is very, very versatile.
Yeah.
I listen to country music, I listen to rock music, I listen to alternative,
Nice.
rap, really anything, you know. My when I'm in the car with my kids, they don't, you know, they're not really like, they'll jam out to whatever I'm jamming out to, you know what I mean?
That's good.
Like,
Yeah.
and I think it's cool that, you know, we as kids, we get a lot of our music taste from like our parents.
Of course.
And things like that. That's why like I fuck with like Mary J. Blige and like all that kind of stuff as
Yeah.
well. Like, because that's all my mom played on the weekends, blasting it while she's cleaning, you know.
Yeah.
And you learn to appreciate all those. So I listen to that, all that as well.
Yeah.
You know, and I think about my kids and how, you know, they really listen. You know, they get, you know, they kind of turn into who you are a little bit.
Yeah.
With a little flair of themselves.
For sure.
You know, I think about my kids' music taste, and they're gonna be like, people are gonna be like, "What the fuck is this? Like, what are you listening to?"
But that's
like,
good though, because
you
it's more than music at that point, you know.
Oh
'cause
yeah.
You're teaching them like all these different lifestyles, you know. Like country has a different lifestyle, rap has a lifestyle. You know, there's all these different lifestyles, and they're going to appreciate all this different kind of music, and there's just so much. There's so much beauty in music. I feel like.
Yeah. They'll really be able to find something.
Yeah.
Anywhere for them, you know.
What do they like to do? I know they're into like action figures and stuff, right? Because they're boys.
Yeah,
but like, what do they like? What do they like to do?
My oldest likes, you know, YouTube anything, you know,
Okay.
like FGTVs, the Ryans, the kids.
Well, because he grew up in that age. Because he's 8, right?
Yeah, he
grew up like
so
when Ryan was like still.
But we didn't. I didn't let my kids watch YouTube for a while.
Really.
You know, they've never had like tablets, like iPads, like these kids nowadays. I mean, they have them now. Don't get me wrong.
These kids nowadays, yeah.
But you know, it's like a recent thing with the last like 2-3 years. You know, he's really heavy like, into, like I said, like all those family friendly shows.
Yeah.
Some of them are cool. Like I catch him every now and then, you know. But that's what he likes, and he's into like the Bendies and like the Five Nights at Freddy, things like that.
Okay.
My 5-year-old Oliver, he's into robots, anything. He builds anything with Legos. I hate Legos.
Nice. Yeah, I hate Legos.
Stepping on them is the worst, but Legos, like anything that you can build something with, like he wants, but he likes building robots and things like that. He watches, we don't really like to let them watch YouTube, as I said. It's a little much, but we'll let him watch it every now and then, you know, sure, but he likes some of that too, but not really, you know.
Yeah.
And then my youngest, he really likes anything that my 5-year-old likes.
Okay.
They're very close. They even know they irk each other's soul. They are very close, and whatever my 5-year-old's doing, my 3-year-old has to do. Yeah. You know, and he likes his own things as well. He likes like plushies, like he likes like playing with them and things like that. He likes the bigger action figures. He likes making them fight and whatnot. Pretty standard kid stuff, boys stuff. And yeah,
that's awesome. And so, what does Destiny like to do?
Destiny is heavily into like Kingdom Hearts and like some specific anime.
Okay.
She's a gamer. She likes, you know.
Nice. You came up on a gamer, huh?
Yeah, she plays. I bought her a PS5 for Christmas. No, for her birthday.
Do you let her play your shit, or you guys like don't? Touch
I actually play her shit. I have a Xbox, but I just haven't.
You got an Xbox 360, bro.
Right, my shit got the red ring.
Yeah, I haven't taken it back yet.
Right, I haven't. They said it was on back order. Yeah, no. I don't know, man. Like, I don't play games as much as I used to. Honestly, like I've just been really busy with work. You know, I
used to play all fucking night.
I used to, man. I used to, but I can't do it anymore. I'm in bed by 8 o'clock now.
Yeah. Well, you start your day pretty early though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, in the stone industry, you're up. The contracting like industry, like they're up early.
Yeah, I've had to get up early for a while, but now that my kids have started school, I have to get them. I usually get to work a little later now because I have to take them to school. But even then, like I'm waking up at like 6, 5:30. You know, I've I'm really trying to get like a good schedule for myself and my kids going in the mornings because Destiny's off to work by the time we get up. So it's really, you know, up to me getting everything ready and things like that. So I've really been trying to get myself in like a good groove and my kids in a good groove.
Yeah.
So it's I'm up at least by like 5:45, 6 a.m. You know, getting ready myself, getting my kids up, and then take them where they have to go, and then I had to work. But yeah, I'm usually in bed now. I can't play. I don't have I really don't have the need to play video games right now. You know, I feel like my life's pretty fulfilling right now. Like I'm
and that's the kind of stuff you do in your free time and stuff. Like
right,
that.
exactly.
You know, it's like you're not a professional fucking Xbox player, you know, so you don't really. That's good, and you obviously have to focus on your priorities and stuff like that.
Right, exactly.
So I just wanted to talk really quick. You obviously have a very busy schedule, and you said like how you take your kids to school and Destiny works early, like it's a lot, you know. So how do you handle it like mentally? Like, what does mental health look like in your home, like to help you manage all that? Because that's a lot, right? I mean,
yeah, it's definitely
especially so early in the morning.
Yeah, my kids are not the best getting up. You know, they tend to drag, and I'm kind of just like on them, like you guys got to get up. Like,
are they like the criers? Like we're not going, like screaming, tantruming.
Surprisingly, my 5-year-old Oliver is that way.
Oh, okay.
My 3-year-old Liam, he usually gets up like rubbing his eyes, like really cute, and he, as you know, he's like, "Where's mommy?" And I'm like, "Hey, like she's at work," you know, and he's like, "All right," and then you know he like walks away, and I'm like, "Go put on socks." You know what I mean?
Well, that's chill though.
Right. Chill. But my 5-year-old, he's just like he knows he has to go to school, and he's just like, I don't want to, but he's doing phenomenal, and we just got his report card in, and we spoke to his teacher, and she said he's doing phenomenal.
That's awesome.
You know, so we had to spoil him a little bit. You know,
what'd you do?
We bought him a new toy.
Nice.
And then my mom gave him some money, and we're gonna go. I'm
gonna go rob his ass.
Right, we might have to. Give me your money.
Yeah.
So, it's. So what I do for, you know, to make sure I'm mentally fine is I just honestly I just enjoy the moments. I just enjoy the moments, and instead of stressing, and honestly I feel a lot of it comes with. A lot of it's really thanks to, you know, my job. I don't stress when I go to work. You know, I don't. I get to work. I do my job. You know, I get everything that I need to get done. And as I said before, it doesn't really feel like work.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm not. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. So I'm not like, I don't wake up mad because I'm like, fuck, like I gotta go to work.
Yeah. You
know, I don't want to do that, but Jesus, I'm sorry. I don't worry about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So as I said, I don't wake up angry. Like I don't wake up, you know, like damn, like I don't want to do this. Like oh, I gotta go here. Like I feel like I'm very blessed in that sense because I don't. I feel like that's a big contributor in why people, you know, especially people who have kids, you know, and people who have responsibilities like mine, you know. Do you have the stress of being a parent and doing these things for your kids, but you start your day off in a bad mood because you have to go to work, you have to go somewhere you don't want to go.
Yeah.
So, you know, and that's you know, kind of how it was for me when I was working at Heine's, and I didn't really want to go there. You know, it definitely, at that point, it definitely affected, you know, my mental health because, especially like regarding like with my family, like I'd wake up like, man, like fuck, like, I don't want to go to work, like I don't want to do this, and then you get that feeling like what am I doing in life? Like especially when you have kids, like you know, you want to be able to give them everything that you have and everything that you never had, and at the same time you want to do that. You're also an adult. You want to travel. You want to do things for yourself and your family. You whether it be, you know, buying your family nice things, buying a house, buying, you know, whatever. You know, there's a lot when you have kids. It's a lot more.
It's a lot of essentials too. Fucking body wash, fucking all kinds of shit.
Right.
Gas, everything.
Right. You know, it's you start stressing about those things.
Yeah.
You know, on top of fuck, like I don't want to work here. Like what can I do? What should I do? What do I have to do? you know, and it's at that point it's kind of like a snowball effect. You know, you mad about one thing that leads to you being mad about another thing, into another thing, into another thing. You know, so that's why, you know, I really feel like I'm blessed in being where I am now. Is, you know, I don't have those stresses.
Yeah.
You know, I'm able to, you know, provide for my family and in the way I want to right now, and the way, you know, I'm able to. You know, I'm not stressing. I'm not worried about going to work and hating it. You know, I get to work. You know, as I said, I do what I got to do, and I love doing what I do. So it really doesn't feel like work.
Yeah.
You know, and that's been phenomenal for my mental health. You know, is because I wake up, I'm in a good mood. I deal with my kids, even though my kids may give me a hard time in the mornings. You know, I get them ready. We get through it. We power through it. You know, and then I'm off to work. You know, and I do my job. I don't really get stressed at work. Don't get me wrong, there are definitely times in which I'm like, damn, like we need to, you know, shit needs to happen, you know, but that's all a part of it, you know, that's a part of life, you know, you're not gonna win all of the time, you know, and I think that's another thing is, you know, people have to learn how to accept that good things will happen to you, good things happen to people, but you also get the bad things, and it's really how you handle the bad things. Yeah. You know, and if you can look at them like, damn, like this just came up, you know, like with me at work, like damn, like something messed up, you know, and especially being in the stone industry, mistakes can be very expensive. Yeah. Because, you know, if something's cut too short, you know, we can't grow a stone, you know, if it's cut too short, like
you can't like put water on it and like it grows.
Right, you can't just like, you know, like
stone grows from trees, right?
Yeah. Right, exactly. You know, it's so, you know, that gets stressful because you're like, man, like at some point in this process somebody messed up, whether it be, you know, our measurer, our cutters, our fabricators, you know, the polishers, like thankfully it doesn't happen often, you know, but when it does, you know, and especially like if it's my client, you know, I'm then responsible for, you know, letting them know, figuring it out, what happened, why it happened, you know, do we have what we need to replace it, can we fix it, you know, it definitely gets stressful, and when it does, you know, it doesn't, I don't expect it. I accept it. You know. Yeah. It's things happen. You know, human error. It happens. You know, and instead of being upset, you know, don't get me wrong. It is upsetting, but how I handle it is, you know, it's all right. You know, things happen. You know,
just keep moving.
Right. Just keep moving. I figure it out, and I knock it out, and then, you know, it's on to the next one. You know, I don't let it affect me to the point where I'm like, you know, fuming. Yeah. You know, and it's you know, some people can't do that. Some people, you know, would get extremely mad, or, you know, let it really just ruin their day. And, you know, I feel like I can't, like I'm not gonna do that. Like, I need to make sure, you know, my personal mental health is good, and I did that a lot back at Heine's. Yeah. You know, even though, you know, they weren't nearly as expensive, I just stressed about it because I felt like I had to, like, and then that's really where I learned, like towards the end of Heine's, like I'm not, like I can't, like I can't worry about it, especially dealing with people. You know, people when they're hungry are really mean.
Yeah, I mean the customer service is just brutal. You know, I mean it's gotten a lot worse over the years, I feel like, especially with this whole pandemic and stuff. But yeah, I mean customer service is just rough, especially, I mean, the location of Heine's. You know, you get pretty like crazy crowds in there, man. Sometimes you get your normal, you know, like blue collar workers and stuff, but I mean, it's mostly your business, right? At Heine's was just blue collar workers, but like people get in there, they get crazy. People are trying to go to work. People are trying to get their food, like they want in and out. They want, right. You know, it's crazy. Fast food industry is just crazy. Food industry is crazy right now.
Yeah,
for sure.
I'm thankful to.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about that, right? We said stones don't grow on trees. Where do you get your stone from? Like, not you necessarily, but like where does stone come from?
Stone comes from they're mined in quarries.
Okay.
They come from really all over the world.
Yeah.
You know, we've actually just got some granite and quartzite, which are both natural stones.
Okay.
We just got some from Brazil like yesterday.
Nice. So they actually like cut it off of the mountain, right?
Yeah,
Pretty much.
they get these really big cutting machines. They cut out really big slabs of these stones.
Yeah.
And then they take them to their fabricator, and then they cut them into, they shape them, meaning they make them into the rectangles that they're supposed to be in, and then they cut them, and they're very, honestly, like, you don't really, I've learned, being in the stone industry, like, there are some very, very nice natural stone that you wouldn't think really existed,
Yeah.
And it's crazy to think that, when you see these, like, damn, like, this came from the earth, and
Yeah.
it's crazy. It's really nice. It's really nice, but they really come from everywhere, whether it be
Yeah.
Brazil, Korea, China, even here in the United States, we do our own granite as well.
Nice.
Yeah, that's really.
Yeah, the earth is definitely. I mean, some of the resources we get from the earth are just so beautiful. Like, do you like nature? Do you like to go outside? Do you like? What do you?
I wouldn't. I would be lying if I said I was. I've never really been into like, like, let's go hiking, like, you know what I mean, like, now there's nothing wrong with it. I've just never been that kind of person who's like fascinated with like the forest, with just nature in general. Like, I've never really paid attention, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I can appreciate a good view.
Yeah.
And like, man, that's really nice. But as far as like,
I like that boulder.
right, that's a nice boulder. I just, I don't. I'm not like. Yeah, I don't go seeking like that.
Yeah. That's
but
cool.
If I see it, I can appreciate it.
That's awesome. So I guess we kind of just wanted to leave you with. Do you have any final remarks or anything you might want to say about anything? It can be just about something we talked about. It could be any kind of advice you might have to the audience. Anything you might want to say, and then also share your Instagram handle and stuff like that on there as well.
Yeah, as I said before, you can find me on Facebook as Jared Carter. That's my name.
Cool.
Instagram is themanager_1. I share a lot of my business stuff that I create for my business.
Okay.
As you said before, we are giving away a raffle. We're doing a giveaway. We're doing a giveaway for a custom quartz pet feeder that we made at our shop.
Nice.
You can enter there. You can find that at any of our social media pages at Earth Meets Luxury, on all the social media platforms except for Twitter, where it's Earth Meet Luxury. Yeah, awkward. Any final remarks? I really just add. I really believe in a lot of work you do.
Thank you.
I feel like, I've personally never really thought to think about what my mental health was like, and when you started your journey doing this, and I would read a lot of stuff that you would post and things like that, like live intentionally, your pause, was it stop, pause, and breathe, or
stop, drop, and roll?
Yeah, stop, drop, and roll. Fucking
pause, breathe, reset.
Yeah, so I do that a lot, throughout my day, and I feel like it definitely helps me. I would really just say, live the way you want to live.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to do something out of your comfort zone. If there's something you want to do, find a way to make it happen. There's always a way to make something happen.
Agreed.
Whether it be support, whether it be, you just going out and getting it. Life's too short.
Yeah. Life's
too short. And as I said before, I'm extremely blessed to be in the position I'm in now, and that honestly would be thanks to you. You've been a big supporter of me, and I don't think I'd be where I am without you. I think you're doing a great job, man.
Thank you. I definitely appreciate that. We've definitely been friends for a very long time, and you've been one of my biggest supporters as well. Definitely appreciate that as well. I'm glad that you actually read my stuff. I mean, people support, right? But then do they actually read
Right,
it?
exactly.
And do they actually believe in it? And I know that you do actually believe in it, and you actually believe in me. And I appreciate that. And I'm always here for you, whether it be advice or I'm not a professional whatsoever. But you can always come to me with anything, personal or business wise. I'm always here for you, and I appreciate you and everything you and your family have done for me. I mean, I've been part of your family for over 10 years. It's crazy. I mean, even your brothers and I'm friends with them.
You came to my brother's wedding with me.
Yeah, exactly.
Very fun.
Yeah, it's
Very
a great time.
fun.
And your brothers are awesome. And I appreciate you for coming on and talking. And this wasn't too bad,
No,
it's not meant to be, into your business, but it's learning more about you. This is, I've known you for over 10 years, and these conversations we've never actually really had. So it's good to sit down and talk to you and just learn more about you. I've learned more things about you today that I've never known. And I appreciate you for sharing that. I know that it's not easy to share information like that, and some people don't like to. But I'm proud of you for everything you've accomplished, everything you're doing. And I hope you come back and talk to us again. I'm sure this is not going to be the first time the viewers are going to see you.
I'm hoping not. This is my first time doing anything like this.
Okay.
Once again, stepping out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
And if it's to support you, it's not a problem at all.
Yeah.
I'd definitely love to be on. Give me a little bit more. I should have a little bit. I should be a little better at it. Really. As I said, it's my first time, so it's
you're doing great.
All a learning process.
Yeah, you're doing great. This is my first time recording a video ever. This is my first time doing it, so this is the first episode of the Tommy Talk Show. So this is just something completely different. I think what you said about stepping out of the comfort zone is important because everything that I'm doing, I've been stepping out of my comfort zone, and it's definitely scary. You know what I mean? But having supporters like you is awesome, and that's why I keep doing it, and I hope that I'm doing it, and I'm helping people. That's the ultimate goal. And just to know that I'm helping one person and I've helped you, is just enough for me. So thank you again for coming on. Thank you for believing me. Thank you for supporting me. Just thank you for being an awesome friend and a brother, man. I appreciate you.
Absolute pleasure, man. Pleasure.
Yeah, absolutely. So thanks, man.
No problem. Love you, bro.
Yeah, I love you too, man. Everybody, don't forget to like, subscribe, Tommy Talks. You can check it out on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok. Check us out, TommyTalks.online. Don't forget to check out Jared Carter on Facebook and Instagram. And also don't forget to check out MG Granite Earth Meets Luxury and their new giveaway. They do some really great work. I've been following them. They're doing a fantastic job. I also share some of their stuff. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me or Jared directly. And yeah, guys, next week we will be releasing another episode. Stay tuned for more information. Have a great day. See you guys later.